Hi guys, rideshare PA here. I wanted to first of all say thank you to everybody for coming to the channel. I appreciate it. If you like the videos, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel and you like the content, please do me a favor and do that now. Also, I am giving away a free dash cam November 1st, 2019 at 8 p.m. It will be a live stream. So if you have not marked your calendar for that and you want a free dash cam or a chance to win, please do that. Today's video is more of an informational video for anybody that is looking into doing rideshare or wanting to become an Uber or Lyft driver. Okay, I came across this article a couple days ago and I wanted to do it, but wasn't sure exactly how to go about it. I have some stuff laid out. I will be putting throughout the video, right in this area where my finger is pointing right now, I'll be putting pictures, so that way as I'm talking you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So keep an eye out for those. Just so you know, this will be about a 10 to 20 minute video, just because there is a lot of information and I want to make sure that I go over it correctly. Excuse me one second. I want to make sure I go over it correctly, not just efficiently and fast to get it out there, but I want to talk about it in depth. So I'm just letting you know that now and ahead of time, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, okay? These are things I wanted to point out that I started driving December of 2018, so it has been almost a year in total since I started driving. These are things that I've noticed, that other drivers I know have noticed, and I wanted to bring it to the forefront so that way people just coming in can know. Okay, this article, the title is called "Why Driving for Uber is Superior to Driving for Lyft." Okay, I'm not going to read the entire article, but I am going to just basically go over some of the keynotes. Again, personally, I would not drive for either of these full-time. I would find a full-time job and do this part-time. Most people do it that way. If you do have the market to do it full-time and that's something that you want to do, again, it's your life. Do what you want. I would highly recommend using Uber as much as possible. So, the number one highlight in this article, it says Uber's surge pay crushes Lyft's personal power zone. Okay, from a driver's perspective, Uber's surge is superior in every way to Lyft's personal power zone. Okay, both companies offer few extra dollars per ride when it's busy. However, Uber does this with large surge clouds, while Lyft uses comparatively tiny and rare personal power zones that appear as tiny squares. Okay, I will put a screenshot right here of what that looks like if you're not familiar with it. Okay, Uber's surge beats Lyft's personal power zones. Okay, Uber's surge occurs as a large cloud versus Lyft's tiny personal power zone. Uber will adjust compensation for some long-distance surge fares, so drivers get a large portion of the fare. Lyft does not do this. Okay? You don't have to drive nearly as far to get into Uber's surge cloud versus Lyft. Okay? So basically, if a cloud is this big versus the little square, you can still get into that cloud and get some of that surge versus having to drive a little bit further. Okay? Uber's surge usually pays more than Lyft's personal power zone. Uber's surge arrives earlier, becomes more intense, and lasts a lot longer. Okay? Lyft's personal power zones, assuming they occur at all, do not. Uber's surge more accurately reflects a demand reality than manages incentives drivers in ways that makes their system more reliable. Okay, this is true. A lot of times when I go into an Uber surge, I will at least get one or two pickups. I have very rarely ever gone into a Lyft personal power zone, but when I do, I very rarely have ever gotten a ride. Okay. I will usually get a ride much faster and much closer to where I am when driving for Uber than Lyft. I 100% agree with that. Most times when I get Uber, it's, unless I'm out in like the country or somewhere where I'm far away from a big city, it's usually 10 minutes or closer. Almost every single Lyft ride I get is 15 to 20 minutes away. Lyft's personal power zones are rare, okay? Lyft's personal power zones are almost mythical compared to Uber's surges, appearing as tiny little boxes in certain little sections. If I wanted to get into a Lyft personal power zone, I would need to pass up on what Uber is already offering me by driving through Uber's surge clouds. Because usually riders are checking both at the same time, and in that case, where there's a personal power zone, most likely there is already an Uber surge. Uber pays more. Why would you want to go with Lyft that pays less? Why would you want to get paid less or get paid more? Everybody's going to want $10 versus $5, so it doesn't make sense. Okay? Instead of paying drivers more, Lyft displays yellow clouds showing where drivers are most likely to get requests. These clouds are also where Lyft is more likely to be charging extra for rides for passengers. Unlike Uber's red cloud, these yellow clouds only indicate where it's busy. Drivers do not earn any extra money from giving rides with them. Uber's red cloud, which I will put a picture right here so you can see it. Uber's red cloud of surge offers extra money for each individual ride. Okay? Now, here's one that a lot of people have gone over in the past couple weeks. Lyft's experimental pay scheme is a nightmare, okay? They have come out with this. It says right here, Lyft is currently testing a new pay model on drivers in 15 cities, okay? I don't have the cities here, but they have come out in 15 cities, and I've heard of a couple other YouTubers talk about this. These 15 cities, they knocked the pay rate down to 33 cents a mile, okay? The new pay model kicks in from the time a driver accepts a ride request. It cuts the rate of the pay per mile in half. Okay, so say you were making $1 per mile. Say it was 10 miles. Okay, you're making $10 to drive that person from point A to point B. It cuts that in half to 5, but it pays you from where you were to go get the rider. Okay, but it cuts your rate in half. That's stupid. Don't do that. Charge them more to go get them if it's a further distance, just like Uber does. Okay? Cuts the rate of the pay per mile in half and increases the rate of pay for time slightly. It doesn't help you as a driver at all. It helps the rider because they're pretty much paying almost the exact same thing. Okay? Lyft says drivers should still earn about the same because now they get paid from when they accept a ride. However, most drivers who have experienced this beg to differ and have protested this change in places like Phoenix, Arizona. Okay? My 3 Uber trips earned me $46. Using Lyft rates of 35 cents a mile and 15 cents a minute, my earnings were only $30.21. That's a 35% loss. That's what this person said. Okay? As both companies have lowered pricing and pay for drivers to less than $1 per mile in some areas, the resulting increase in demand means that drivers do indeed have much shorter ride from time to time. They accept a ride until the time they pick their passenger up, so getting paid at half the rate for this portion of the fare is insulting. For veteran drivers, we know that Lyft is likely to expand this program, and that means Uber may copy them. I hope they don't. If they did, they're stupid. Uber won't pre-match my trips without permission. Okay, and what that means is if you're driving somebody from point A to point B, say you get about 5 minutes out from your destination, if there's somebody around the area that needs picked up, Lyft will automatically give you that ride without you accepting it. It'll just add it to your queue. It'll actually say trip added to queue, and it'll just add it on without you even knowing, really. You actually have to, it'll say trip added to queue, but you don't have a chance to decline it. Whereas Uber, when it comes up, it will say what exactly does it say? It says it'll ping again and you have the chance to hit it or deny it, okay? It says, when I'm giving a ride to passengers and approaching their drop-off point, there is sometimes a good chance I'll get my next request before completing my present ride. Uber does this better because it will show me the request, the passenger rating, the ride type, estimated pickup time, and surge information. From here, I can either choose to accept or deny. Lyft does not provide this information. They just add the ride to my queue without my permission, forcing me to accept the next ride regardless of any information. This is when I feel most like a Lyft employee driver. According to Lyft, drivers can cancel these trips without affecting their acceptance rate. Both Uber and Lyft allow drivers to turn off this ability to stack rides. However, the driver must manually turn this option off from within the driver app during every ride they give. Every single ride. Like, no, that's stupid. Okay? Drivers. Okay, this is another thing. Uber still shows me the full detailed breakdown of each fare, including what I make as a driver and what I get paid as a passenger. I will put a picture right here of that. Okay. Says the passenger, including what I made as a driver, what the passenger paid, what Uber made, and what fees are included, including tolls and taxes that were paid. Uber makes this information relatively available in the Uber driver app for any driver that selects a large blue fare details button at the bottom of the ride. Lyft, meanwhile, has decided to begin hiding this information about what passengers pay and what Lyft earns from each ride. Instead, drivers must now locate and download a weekly summary of this information buried deep within a web portal found from within the Lyft driver app. Okay, again, shady as shit. Getting the full picture of fares is a pain. Presently, Lyft only displays their take rate on my rides from deep within their driver app, buried behind several layers of screens, a PDF download, and on the last page of the PDF, it's only a summary for the week of driving. Okay? Lyft previously displayed full fare details to drivers within their driving app until they eliminated it on October 2nd of 2019. Uber still displays this information in their driver app. Okay? Here's a good one, guys, because this happens to me almost every single time I decline a Lyft ride. Uber won't send me creepy messages for declining trips. I will put a picture of this right here of what it looks like. Lyft likes to send a lot of intimidating text, emails, and other in-app notifications to make drivers feel guilty about declining trips. Meanwhile, the Uber driver app will let me decline requests that don't make sense. Uber incentives are far better than Lyft's. This I will agree with. When I drive in Philly, and it started coming into my local town now, Uber has a thing called Quest Mode. Usually at the beginning of the week, by Sunday night, I can choose my quest for the week. You can usually do like 30 trips or 40 trips throughout the week, and you make an extra amount of money for Monday through Thursday. And then they also have Quest Mode for the weekend, where if, say, you do 80 trips or 60 trips, you get $80 extra, and you do 90 trips, you get $100 extra for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like, their incentives are far, far better than Lyft's. Okay? Here's another thing that I don't like, I don't agree with, I think it's stupid. Anybody, in my opinion, I know people have to do what they have to do to make money, and if you have to do this to make money, if you can make it work for you, it's great. But personally, me, I will never rent a car, especially if I'm driving for Lyft. Okay? Lyft Express Drive pays drivers almost less than 18 cents per mile. Okay? For people that don't know what Express Drive is, that is, drivers who use Lyft's Express Drive program receive a lower rate of pay than all of the other drivers for Lyft. Lyft does not mention this at all in their overview page or in their terms of service. Most of the drivers I've spoken with to using Lyft Express Drive were unaware that they're actually getting paid less than me. Several of them were not aware of what a rate card is, which I suspect Lyft is very happy about. Okay? Anybody that doesn't know what it is, this is basically what your rate would look like. If you look where that arrow points to, the first one above that is per mile. That's what you're getting paid per mile. Okay. 0.58, basically 58 cents a mile. Right under that, where it says per mile express drive, it's 40 cents. So you're getting 14 cents difference. This is wherever this guy that did this article lives. That's what the difference is in his area, okay? But that's almost a 15-cent difference, and you're renting a car. You still have to pay for your own gas and all that other stuff, but you're renting a car. Okay? Here, in my opinion, is one of the key reasons why I think it is better to drive for Uber than Lyft. Uber's insurance deductible, if you get in an accident, is $1,000. So no matter what happens, it's $1,000 deductible. Lyft, and I know this from personal experience when I had that kid in my car and my door got dented on the side. Lyft's deductible for anything is $2,500. Okay, this has been consistent since the beginning of rideshare. Uber has always had a much lower deductible of $1,000 in the event of an accident. In comparison, Lyft still has an insane $2,500 deductible. A difference of $1,500 after an accident can be the difference between someone having the ability to get their car repaired to get back on the road as fast as possible. Most drivers will have trouble gathering $1,000 for an emergency expense like this. $2,500 almost seems like a complete joke in comparison, okay? The next thing, Uber gives drivers more choice in the types of rides they get, okay? This right here, and I will show it to you because I don't think I took a picture of it, but this is your driver preference screen in some areas, okay? As you see, it has comfort, deliveries, Uber X, Uber XL. If you drive a van or a bigger car, you can take XL. You can do X rides also. You can do Uber Eats. In Philly and I think, what was it, seven cities, maybe more, I can't remember off the top of my head, but Uber Pets will be an option. If you drive a big enough car and it's a luxury model in New York and other cities, you can do Uber Black. There's many more options than with Lyft. So you always want to keep your options open. That is a key thing. What I will say, however, is do not limit yourself to just Uber, okay? Uber is great. Uber pays more. In my opinion, Uber is the best company to drive for. However, hands down, do not limit yourself to just Uber. Me personally, every time I drive, I always have Uber running. If I get into a point of the night where it's slow and I don't have rides, say for about 10 minutes, then I will turn Lyft on and I will see what's out there for both. But at the end of the day, I will always take Uber over Lyft. All right? So I know this was a long video, and I'm sorry for that, guys, but it is information that I think every single person out there needs to know, especially if they are just getting into rideshare. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Have a great week. Rideshare PA out, man. Peace, guys.